Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Studio Gallery. These are the colors that you're looking at that I'm going to put into my canning funnel that I got at Walmart. A lot of people have those, and some people threw them away from what I hear. So the only other color I'm going to add is some of my white metallic from Anita's. I'm going to play it by ear. If you have a question about a color, please feel free to ask me in the comments what it was. I got a 16 by 20 inch canvas, and I am going to give myself a color that I have a lot of that I don't use very often. That looks very loose compared to the rest of them. Get rid of the bubbles with my torch, and whatever that thing is right there that I can tell is a thing. Yes, because I've got X-ray paint eyes. So that's probably going to run quite a bit. So maybe I will put another color around it because I can. The name of my first book on the Amazon link. The Amazon link is under the link tree. It's right under the video. Those colors will most likely disappear. And that's a little dioxazine purple. So I have also got some black acrylic enamel, which is a great catalyst for creating cells. I have some beautiful quinacridone magenta that has iridescent pearl fine mixed into it. I have some Decor Americana 24 karat gold with some orange mixed into it. Whoops, I did not want to tip that. I have some Folk Art color shifting purple flash that needs the top cleaned out very badly. Yep, that'll be good for the next time. I'm going to put some of that black enamel in there, which sometimes can muddy colors, so be aware. Here's my white metallic from Anita's. I have no idea what this is going to be like, and I've never done anything exactly like this. This is my Venetian blue from Modern Masters, which almost always sinks. So I'm not going to use a ton of it, but I want to see what it'll do. Here's some dioxazine purple without anything else in it. That comes from Hobby Lobby. That is a Master's Touch. Here's a color I mixed up with neon pink from Folk Art and probably added a little bit of something else. I'm not sure what now anymore. So what else do I want in there? I believe I have some Arteza purple, which is an awesome purple. It's really similar to what I started with, except for it's pearl. If you ever want any Arteza coupons and you want to help me out and go shopping Arteza, this is a Folk Art neon purple. Then you should probably just search the word Arteza on my playlists, and that will bring up a playlist or all the videos, and I have like 40 of them, I think 40. This is some more acrylic enamel, and I don't use it very often, but since it's going to sell and I want to see what it's going to do, I'm going to do that. Now last in is my precious Hot Orchid from Color Art Primary Elements, and I'm going to give a little bit of a squeeze in there. Move these out of the way. I'm doing this because I have a class in early January, which it should probably be early January. It'll probably be February before anybody sees this. So I'm just going to very incrementally raise and let. Now, I don't usually, but I am going to scrape this out with a Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula, they are good for all kinds of things. But I don't like wasting paint, so I see no reason to do so. Paint flows to paint. I kind of like that circle. I might have to think about that again sometime. That might be really neat. This is going in the bucket, so I can clean it easily. And my studio rag is not damp, and it should be. So I'm going to wipe my spatula off on my freshly dampened studio rag. And I'm going to look at this and say to myself, am I happy with everything I see there? And my gold is sealed up. but I think I want some. And the reason I didn't put it in there was because I like it pure. And when I put it into, unscrew please, when I put it into a funnel pour, it mixes and becomes a lot more dull. And the only word that's coming to mind is aberrated, and that just means changed a little bit in a way I don't want it to be. So I'm thinking I'm gonna screw this top on. Oh, what's it feel like to want? Give this a bit of a shake. This is the 24 karat gold from Decor Americana. And I'm gonna try a little bit of that right over here. Just as an experiment, the afterthought. And since I like everything else I see, I'm going to give myself a little bit of that turquoise too. I'm going to hit it really fast with a torch. I picked up some skins that were under my torch. I have tremendous cells. I will be using an edge catcher, which is nothing more than a strip that will hold paint back from falling off the canvas. And I don't know if I have enough paint yet, but I think we'll find out. I have some great colors. I have a strong craving for orange to be added to this. I am going to take my time so I have a chance to stretch out some cells. So the gold and the turquoise have pretty much disappeared. Definitely want to do this a lot slower than usual because I think that might help me maintain the integrity of some of these cells. And they are pretty cool cells. Magnificent is not a bad word right at this moment. So see all that purple from the background, the puddle that I poured into, all that is pretty much going as well. So I could have used a lot more of that, but it was so loose I didn't want to take a chance that it was going to really mess up the whole point of the rest of the artwork. So it's hard to know which way to tilt because no matter which way you go, something's going to get swallowed. Lost in the shuffle. Now what I can do right now is hold that to the edge and let that paint run down that way. And I can keep that paint by removing the painting after I rock it. I can move it right back down onto the rest of the canvas, which is kind of neat and made an interesting pattern. And then I could just navigate, if I can get my edge catcher to straighten out. You don't want them too wide if you use an edge catcher. And cardboard is not a bad substitute. I have used it and it does work. Now it's looking a lot to me like either I need another funnel pour, which is not impossible, just not, excuse me. Put that edge catcher down and let that paint pour right off onto it. Before letting the rest, oh, I'm painty, flow back over. I think it's time to go ahead and experiment with where'd the purple go that I started with. There we go. Let's just do this. Because we can. And we should. And it's a good experiment to see. I usually tip things back in. And sometimes, you know, it's okay if you wind up with a straight color because then you have negative space. And negative space is not ever a bad thing in my opinion. I am going to use my Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula to push that right up into that edge right now. And right over there. So I have a better chance. Ooh, wow. I did not realize that was going to be so painty. I should have known. Right onto my edge catcher, which I have a bunch of beautiful paint there. And I'm inclined to grab an OXO omelet turning spatula and make my short attempt to make it all go onto my edge catcher to the best of my ability. And then, you know, since look what I've got. This is what I've got. And I am going to go ahead and, even though it would make a really pretty edge catcher I could cut up and use for something, I can also put it right back onto the canvas, except for that lump there that has to go away. Let's get all of that paint right off that spatula. Let's try again. It's coming. It's taking a minute, but it's coming. All right, so I'm going to wipe off my hands for a second because I got painty. So I took it off just to put it on again. Yes, I did. And we are just trying to get the paint that we have already to morph over to the other side of the canvas, which is, oh, those are so pretty. Oh well. I'm not going to worry about this edge catcher. I am going to keep using that purple. I think I'm going to add some different purple to it though. The freshest paint you put on is also the deepest or the heaviest, and it will flow the fastest. Do I want anything else? I kind of do. I'm going to use some of this Folk Art Neon Purple because I can. The name of my first book is Because I Can, but my second book is called Unlimited Possibilities. I want black. My muse said black. My funnel pours are probably not like anybody else's. That's okay with me. I'm seeing that I could put some gold in there, but I'm also seeing that I would like some black over there also. This is definitely different than any funnel pour I've done before. This is going to be a lot about pouring paint off onto that edge catcher and pulling the paint down. I'm sorry you can't see anything, oh no! So we'll have interesting paint on the edge catcher, and it's all running right down. And I did get my paint to go all the way to the edge, which is pretty cool. And even though there's a mess, I've got paint I can pick up and put on the other end, and I will probably do that in a minute. I'm going to use my finger before I go rinse it off. Try and get all the paint off the canvas that is flowing off right now. Look how pretty. I think I'm going to put that right back on because I needed to use the residual on the side. Anyway, so that's pretty awesome. I'm being called to turquoise, but before I do anything else, I'm going to throw my spatula in the bucket to get that extra paint off my hands. Okay, so where's my turquoise? My turquoise is here. I have a little turquoise showing up there, but not much. And I want the rest of that paint, so I need another spatula. This is my OXO omelet turning spatula. Best paint spreading tool I know of. If I want gold, I'm going to put it in at the very end. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I am going to take all of the paint that I have on my edge catcher. I'm going to try and be a little more careful with how I put it on there. I got to show you this pattern. Check that pattern out. Isn't that cool? Wow. Looks like the Halloween brain. I'm going to take all that paint, and even though it's kind of gray, I'm a little clumsy right at the moment, it looks like. Good thing I got a bunch of spatulas. So I'm going to do what I have been doing and nudge some paint together before I decide to push it back. Because all this is going to go back before it goes this way, it's going to go that way. And maybe this way. And I might not wind up with any of it left. I'll wind up with some cool edge catcher though. kind of makes me want to put a little more turquoise in there. Kind of makes me want to pour it right back in here. Oh, but I'm going to lose some really nice cells. Okay, let's see if we can pull some of that toward the edge. I mistook my tile for my edge catcher. Not very clever. I am going to torch to release the bubbles caught in the paint, assuming there are any. And I might be very interested in taking one more tilt in this direction. We got some incredible patterns. Just incredible. Without any gold. I don't think there's going to be any gold in this. I'm going to touch my edge up, level the painting out, and run my finger down again. Yes, I have some extra paint, but I can use it for other things. I'm going to take all that, put it right down, run my finger along the edge again. That looks like it needs some paint. That's covered, that's covered. That little bit of turquoise isn't hurting anything. This is all kind of mucky and gray, so I'm going to wash it away. Not meaning to be a poet, but at least I know it. I am a fool. A fool, a painting fool. Alright, so what do I want to do? I want to grab another spatula. I'm going to have to clean some spatulas. I've got some turquoise paint on here, and I want to carefully remove it. And add a few little nothings. What else? Okay, so I've got a skewer. And I want to fake it out and make it look a little bit integrated into what's already there. And I think I can do that by just putting a skewer into it. I can't believe I'm getting rid of that purple. Maybe I want some more of my hot orchid in there somewhere. Maybe I don't. Alright, I'm torching, calling it good. There's over 91,250 of you subscribed. So if you're new, please be welcomed. I'm so glad that you're here. You should know that there are over 1,800 videos organized into playlists of 100 and also by topic and genre. There is always a monthly drawing. Wow, this is pretty cool. Maybe even better than I expected. And if I'd used enough paint to begin with, I wouldn't have had to add any. But I'm kind of the person who really likes to add things to change things up. That is quite the nebulous. It's a cosmic event. And I like it, and I hope it dries nicely. And that is a bubble. And I see that bubble. Why aren't you popping? Maybe you're not a bubble. You're a nodule. A bubble-shaped nodule. So anyway, back to I have a link tree, and the link tree is right underneath the video. The link tree shares all my other links, including my website, pixels.com, Fine Art America, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter links, Facebook groups, Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Appreciation Group is for students, Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Totes and More is for shopping, pixels.com and Fine Art America, so you can get there two ways. On the Shop Now button on Facebook or just by pressing the link. My website is a place to cruise by. My Instagram is where I post every day. Well, when I'm painting, I post there every day. And Twitter is where I post videos. Instagram is my favorite. And I try and keep up on Instagram. And it's